During the last video, the recording ended quite quickly because the camera ran out of battery. So I'm going to finish this now and I'll be drinking tea. I'll show you what kind of tea I'm going to drink here. So you can take a look. That is the cup. Right here, filled up with the goodness. There's going to be giant pineapple here also, and that's the tea that I'm going to drink. So that is flavored green tea. And I would say that it's one of the better teas and I like it quite a bit. Green tea is very healthy, and flavored green tea is a very good choice, because for me personally, the original green tea doesn't really taste that good. I just kind of can't drink it every day, while I would like to, considering all the benefits that it provides. Let's move on to Apple. Apple is currently consistently increasing its value. Its current price is $178 per share, and it didn't move up from 2008 consistently, as for example Amazon did. Apple, on the other hand, had at least two major downs. So it starts from 2009, where on March it was valued at a low price of $11.80, and it quite consistently, with a correction, moved up to 2012 September, price of a $99.57, or exactly $100.72, and I think that's the tip, $100.72 for this high. And after that it suffers its major down. In the next few months, in April 2013, Apple loses some of its value and moves down to $60 per share. And now this in turn actually creates a good buying opportunity, because after that Apple moves on consistently to its new high of 132, and and here where it turns bad once again, and the stock starts to crash down. First of all, it makes its down of $92. And after that, it moves on to 121, moves down again to 92.59. And I'm talking about BATS exchange here. And then we see another move upwards and downwards, so that's from the current 92.59 to 112 and a low of 89. So it pretty much consistently moves up and down. And now Apple is on the next move upwards. Its current price is 178. It recently had a correction that's currently been happening in major financial markets on USA. So I'm talking about indexes here. So for example, S&P 500, NASDAQ had this recent correction down. On the NASDAQ, it moved from 7,500 to a low of 6,630 before it moved on to today's current price, which is currently right now 7,494. Apple stock has performed very similarly, and it moved from a tip of 180 to its correction low of 160, and it's currently at 178. I'm not including the cents, however, I'm just talking about the dollars here. And it looks like Apple kind of surprisingly is following the major trend. Now we are going to go on US oil, so that's WTI, crude oil. As you may know, there are two major oils out there, the European one and the USA one. So currently I'm going to talk about the US oil. The current price for US oil is $60.60 on EBC exchange. It was consistently with a minor correction or corrections that kind of moved up and down in maybe $8-7 range. These corrections are consistently moving up and down, and it kind of went from its total oil crash down 26.08 on TBC exchange to a high of 66.63, and currently it is at $60. It was on 66.63 on 2018 January. Then it moves down to a low of 58 in 2018 February, a high of 64 at the end of 2018 February, and it's currently gradually, or at least is, moving down, and we'll see where it's gonna go. Now let's move to Amazon. Amazon is moving upwards by quite a bit. It had its low in 2008 November, and it was a low of $34 on BATS exchange, 34.68, and it consistently moved up to 246 or 7 246.71. This is where it had its correction, moved a little bit south to 166.97. After that, it once again started to rise, moved up to 405.63. Then another correction begins. It starts to move south to 285. That's in 2015 now. The previous high was in 2013. The previous high of 405 in 2013 December. And then it's moving down to 2015 January. After that, the trend changes. It starts to move upwards to 696 on 2015 December. Another turn south to 2016 February. And after that, it more or less gradually, with some minor movements down, it reached its super high of 1,600 right now, at this very moment. And from 2017 September, it pretty much skyrocketed by quite a bit. Obviously, that's a really good news for everybody that has invested in Amazon. Overall, US economy is certainly consistently moving upwards. It looks like there are no limits, and it will most likely, just as in the past, it went from 200 to 2000. It will probably move from 7,500 on NASDAQ to maybe 75,000 in a couple of decades, maybe. Obviously, it would probably take a couple of decades for it to do so, I guess, unless something happens, something major. I see that in 1974, NASDAQ was valued at a low price of 58.7. 1974 December, it was valued at 58.7. In 1994 December, it was valued at 747. So that's quite a bit, isn't it? In any case, NASDAQ continued to move upwards to 4,914.8 in 2000 February, and this is where it crashed. And it crashed to 2002 September, where it reached a low of 1,135.3 on TVC exchange. After that, with some corrections that are relatively minor, but obviously profitable, the trend moved to a high of 2,861 in August 2010. After that, the crash started and it took the stock to 1,268 on March 2009. And from here we see a new era where the stock market is pretty much consistently moving upwards with some downs, but these downs were nothing really too serious, nothing that really crashed the market, maybe 35 or 50%. They do look suspicious to a recession. For example, in 2015, from 2015 to 2016 middle, so 2015 middle, 2016 middle, we see really serious dips in NASDAQ and S&P 500. Could that be considered a recession? Certainly not, because recession has certain rules. The market just has to go down to a specific number to be called recession. However, it does look very suspicious because the market normally doesn't move like that, and after that it skyrocketed upwards as if we just got out of recession. So the future looks really good, and so far no danger of shorting the market during recession is going to take place, so the recession is not going to be here soon. At least it's not looking like that on the chart right now. However, it's never really clear what's going to happen. We may analyze the past and try to predict the future, however, that's not always necessarily true. It looks very much all fake to me, complete manipulation and control over the prices of assets, and it's fine, perfectly fine. However, I just think that even if it's being controlled by some kind of a organization out there that sets prices for commodities, currencies, stocks in the world, I still don't think that, for example, it's a good idea to be fooled by some kind of a strategy. I think it moves random to a point where somebody chooses the correct price for the entire world, and then it moves to that correct price, and there's pretty much simply no strategy or explanation why this happened, solely because somebody thought it out. Somebody just pretty much placed its own number, and everybody just had to kind of follow that number without knowing what that number is. So even if at 7,500 right now NASDAQ looks strong, somebody may say that it has to crash, and there's not going to be a single indication that it's about to happen. So analyzing the past not necessarily predicts the future. And while the market is moving on a daily basis, I'm pretty much sure that it's completely random way of moving the market so that nobody would ever figure it out how to make money out of it. The only way to make money from day trading is by simply guessing right. And if you guess it right, you get paid. You don't guess it right, you don't get paid. If you crack it, obviously, that makes you the richest man in the world, right? And if you don't, then you're just like everybody else that's trying to do it, and it's either lucky or not so lucky. That's it for now, and you left the game.